Hello, and welcome to an undisclosed outdoor location where we're going to play a game of D&D, kind of. You see, with Adventures in the Forgotten Realms taking Dungeons & Dragons and bringing it into magic, we thought it would be fun to take it one step even further beyond and take the magic back into Dungeons & Dragons for what is very likely going to be an incredibly silly one-shot of D&D. We got 4 players together, myself, Kathleen, Cameron, and Adam, and to run the game, our friend Dale, who has not only been playing D&D since 1980, but even used to be, back in the day, a Pro Tour Magic judge, back when they were called Pro Tours, and the judges dressed like this. Now, if you're wondering what we've done mechanically, each of the players has based their character on a non-legendary creature from AFR, and we've also put together, each of us, a pack of cards. 8 commons, 4 uncommons, 2 rares, and a mythic, with a handful of those cards being from AFR as well. And then instead of taking regular combat actions, we're gonna draw a card off the top of that deck and see how we think that will work. Now, I know what you're thinking. Loading ready, run, you absolute legends. I can't wait to see this amazing new thing that you've created and exhaustively play tested. No, that's not what this is. We have never done this before, and we can't wait to see how it all turns out. You get to find out with us. Let's play. Dale, take it away.
Hi, we're gonna be doing this goofy game thing, and we're gonna be great. I'm sure of it. Also, I have not yet heard who all of the characters are. So since you need to know who the characters are, and since I need to know who the characters are, we're going to introduce them. Graham, take it away.
Oh, I am a steadfast paladin. I'm a dwarf knight, I guess. Well, dwarf paladin. I'm just going with the creature subtypes on the card. A 2/2 with lifelink. I don't think that's necessarily relevant. I also hadn't thought of a name or that I might need one until literally this moment. So I'll get back to you on if she has a name.
You're gonna need a name.
Steffi.
Steffi.
Steadfast. Steffi.
No.
There we go. We got there. Mwah. Steffi Paladin.
Is she a knight? Like, is she Dame Steffi?
Sure.
Okay.
That sounds awesome. Why not? Yeah. And I have a mono white deck of things to do. I can't wait to see how this works.
All right. I'm from this set. I'm Clever Conjurer, who's a little gnome wizard. Interestingly, my gnome wizard is a 2/3, so technically has more HP, I suppose, than Steffi.
I mean, I have higher con.
Oh, that's fair.
We built all the characters with the standard array. So
I realized halfway through your intro that I would need a name, and unfortunately, this is the only thing that came up. So I am Bonk Twee Nimble Sweep.
Nimble Sweep or Sweet?
Sweep. You can just call me Bonk for short, I think.
okay, yeah. Good old Bonk.
Pronouns?
He, him, based on the card art.
Okay.
Oh, and I also have a small rat companion that's hanging out in my satchel, and the rat's name is Cheese Whiskers.
Nice. You know, there are gnomes, there are like legendary gnomes in the set that have names about that silly.
Perfect.
Nimble Sweep sounds like he's a curling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Comes from a long line of curlers, but you know, he's
no one can hurry hard like a nimble sweep.
That's a Canadian joke for you out there.
Hurry hard.
So Cam, who are you?
I am playing a moon-blessed cleric who is a human elf. Oh, that's a very elegant way of being a half-elf. Cleric of Selune. I have decided that she will be named Camriel.
I'm glad no one prepped character names.
We're professionals.
Well, it's like when you don't do the homework and you're like, oh, I'm so screwed. But then you ask around in class and you realize that like solidly half of the people didn't do the homework and you're like, I think I can get away with this.
Yeah.
Like,
there's no
brilliant.
way they can punish us all.
Yeah.
I've definitely done that and been the only person to not have their homework done.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah, you ask around.
So I've, yeah. Also, absolutely a cleric of Selenae and not Shar. My deck is black and white spells.
Sweet.
I am playing a Circle of the Moon Druid, which is 2 and a green for a 2/4, but he has text that says bear form. So when it's my turn, my character turns into a bear. I'm going to request that anytime my character is doing anything, they change into a bear.
Anytime Adam is on screen,
Yeah,
he turns into a bear.
Yeah, like if I talk to an innkeeper, turn into a bear.
But only while you're talking.
Yeah, only while I'm talking. Yes, while it is specifically my turn, I turn into a bear. Otherwise, I am playing a... See, the picture is a jacked up half-elf person, but I'm picturing more Yzma from Emperor's New Groove, but male, and kind of smells like garbage. Like kind of stinky, like hangs out in the woods. Their name is Gorm. Yeah, and they, them, please.
Gorm.
Gorm.
Whenever Gorm is not on camera, the
just-
audience should be asking, where did that bear go?
Gorm, you've got something on.
Yeah.
It's a Mars bar wrapper.
Oh, my bad. But like when he starts talking, he's like, oh my, he's like, oh my bad. And then,
All right. So your adventuring group
yeah.
also needs a name.
Oh,
Oh no.
a collective noun.
These idiots.
Yeah. Oh, I like that one a lot. Ah, who'd you hire? Oh, these idiots.
Someone's talking about us. I don't know, those idiots.
Yes,
Excuse me.
excuse
These idiots.
Idiots.
So these idiots are heading out from Amaberg, the dwarf settlement, because the Cold Rock has been stolen.
Oh no.
Now, these are hill dwarfs. You had me doing game prep during what is historically Canada's hottest week ever. So I'm like, oh man, what's a good magic item that is valuable? It's a rock that's cold. It's always cold. It's always, always very cold.
That must be very handy deep in the pits.
I mean, it's portable. It's like the size of a big cat, so almost any dwarf can pick it up and haul it around where it needs to go.
Is it not so cold that you can pick it up and transport it like safely?
If you're carrying it between buildings, you're probably wearing gloves.
Okay.
Okay.
It's frosty.
Yeah.
It's got a flat part on top where, over the years you can see where the steins have been set. Apparently, before the Time of Troubles, it had other abilities, but by the time the Second Sundering rolled around and magic has just been screwed with so often in the Forgotten Realms, who knows? It's cold. That's what it, right now in, Amaberg, they like it because it's cold.
We like our rocks cold here in Amaberg.
So, a bunch of undead came out of the nearby wild magic zone and took it.
Oh no.
Oh.
Now, you have to go into the wild magic zone. Historically, in the Forgotten Realms, anytime there's a change in game mechanics, there is an explanation in the lore. That's where the Time of Troubles came from. That's where all these historical, awful things happened. So for our lore today, you're going into a wild magic zone. And you don't know what that means. So shuffle your decks, because you don't know what's coming.
Okay.
I appreciate the tremendous hand-wavium of you're entering a wild magic zone. That's why you have these decks of magic cards. That's perfect.
That's great.
Love it.
Are GMs not entitled to the waving of their hands?
I do dig the idea that perhaps many millennia ago this was an incredibly powerful relic, and now it's a cooler.
Yeah, it's like, it's just, I don't know, it's cold. Does it do anything else? No.
Yeah.
It's just cold.
Yeah.
We're not interested in finding out, frankly.
Yeah.
That's what these idiots are for.
I like the idea of a magical artifact that's just convenient.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
not like some all-powerful thing, but it's like, but it's always cold. And they're like, really? I don't have to pay for AC or anything? It's like, yeah, it just sits in your house, chills the whole place. It's great.
I want to know why these undead wanted it now.
Yeah, it was a placeholder magic item, and then on Monday, the hottest day ever, our power went out for over 6 hours. And I'm like, no, this is it. This is the super wanted thing. You know, nailing it down, cold rock.
Yeah.
So what's your plan?
So we've been hired by someone, right? And
Yes.
they were just like, do we have like a general like idea of like a location that we have to go to?
Into the wild magic
into
zone.
the wild magic zone. We have to track undead
Okay.
somehow, which I believe was a first level cleric spell.
As a
Detect evil, detects undead now.
So you also, you were probably part of the defense if you were around nearby the magic rock. It was probably been in a bar. And this horde of undead came in and you attacked them and you killed most of them. But their leader, who was a skeleton from the shoulders up and just floating around, nothing below the shoulders,
But still the shoulders.
and arms.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so it's just like
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly that. Yeah.
it's just like
Arms,
Yes.
clavicle,
yeah.
little bit of spine, skull.
Yes.
Yeah.
That seems really handy, actually. That's way better than just the skull.
Right. The demi-lich, which is super powerful, is way more powerful than a lich, and it's just the skull. But this is a hemi-demi-semi-lich from the arms up, and sapphires in the eye sockets.
I think I had a friend who had a hemi-lich.
Hemi-demi-semi-lich.
As a druid, do I have an idea of the surrounding woods?
That sounds likely to me.
Yeah.
Tell me about them.
Oh, they're dense and they're very spooky. Not a lot of people go into the woods, especially the wild magic zone, obviously, because you'd have to be a nutcase to go in, right?
So you've been in many times.
Yes. Yeah. Gorm's been in.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, Gorm.
From whatever we already know about each other.
Gorm claims that's why he stinks so bad, but that's not why he stinks so bad.
Yeah.
He just doesn't take care of himself.
When you're like, only a fool would go in there, and I've been in there several times, Steffi's like, this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So did someone hire you to go get the rock back?
Sweaty dwarves.
Sweaty dwarf.
Yeah, they're just like,
Yeah.
we're tired of working in the heat. It's like, does it always have to be so hot? That's what they're just like, dude, don't we deserve nice working conditions? And they're like, yeah, you know what, you do. Dwarf.
Yeah, maybe the union foreman was like, no work's getting done until the Coldstone came back. So the mayor was like, well,
We'll get these idiots to go get it.
You had me at cleanse some undead.
Yeah.
we work cheap.
Yeah.
Clearly, you guys have a guide who has been in the forest many times.
Yeah, it's like Gorm's like, finally, my chance to shine. Follow me, and he just runs off. He just starts running.
Give us a tour of this part of the forest.
Oh, okay. Well, we gets to like the forest. I guess there's like in typical fantasy fashion, it's like a very clear forest line, right? And it's like, all right, this is gonna be a little spooky. I know some of you are homebodies, okay? You're not used to the forest and how things work. Nature is scary. He's also you need to remember he's a bear.
Yeah. Oh, I,
Right, yeah.
He's like, he's a big bear, right? He's like, remember. It does actually, his voice doesn't change. He's like, remember, nature is scary, okay? We need to be careful. You need to listen to everything I say exactly like I say it. So he pulls some weird like herbs and spices out of a pouch, and he gets like each of you to hold out your hands. He like sprinkles a little bit over into your hands. Okay, throw it over your right shoulder, make a wish.
Not to get eaten by a bear.
Don't say it out loud.
I have some more herbs.
Wish canceled.
Wish canceled.
Yeah.
The wish was you don't get eaten by a bear. And that wish has, I'm told, been canceled.
Yeah.
You got any more of them 11 herbs and spices?
No, we're all out.
Okay.
I had enough for each of you. All right, good luck.
All right.
Yeah. So we're gonna go in. I don't know what to expect, but I'm sure that we'll be able to handle it. Because who can handle it if not these idiots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so someone is using magic to track the undead.
Yeah.
And so you know they're that way.
Okay, well, Gorm is going to take that very literally, and he's just going to walk straight towards the undead. With no real attempts at stealth.
What kind of water is it that you're going to run into? Is it like a stream? Is there a lake? Because you're going toward water.
I'm going to say it's like a river, but not like a rushing river, but like, You know, something you would find in like the interior BC.
It's like a wide, shallow river
Yes.
that's like it's moving quickly, but not enough that you can't like
You can walk through
easily
it,
walk
kinda,
across it.
yeah,
Yeah, be great for tubing.
Yeah, there, yeah.
Or I was about to say like the kind of river where you could see like a bear swatting a salmon, and as I say that, I'm like, oh.
So you say it's the kind of river that you could easily walk through if you were, say, a bear or a half elf. But what if you're a rock gnome and
Well,
you're 3 foot tall?
You're gonna have some troubles.
Can I ride you, Gorm?
Absolutely, hop on, little buddy.
I'm climbing aboard. Come on, Cheese Whiskers. Let's go for a PU.
Oh yeah, I stink real bad. Yeah.
So you told Cheese Whiskers to climb on board the bear and go for a PU.
Oh no.
Well, now my pouch is wet.
Gorm probably won't even notice.
No, probably not.
So, there had been a bunch of former gnome and halfling undeads as part of the raiding party, and they were among the first to run away. Among the last to run away were the sort of the medium-sized people. There were also some large, like former ogres. They did get away, but you wiped out most of the medium-sized people. And like with Nimble Sweep, these former halflings and gnomes needed help to get across this water, and their steeds did not make it out. So they're kind of hanging out on this side of the water, waiting for some people to be sent back by the Hemi-Demi-Semi-Lich to help them across.
So there's just some undead.
They're just chilling on our side of the river?
Yes.
They're just like waiting.
They're like
Yes.
waiting for a ferry. They got
Yes.
tickets.
Yes. And they didn't get to eat anybody when they were back in Amaberg.
Okay.
Shame.
So they're hopeful that this will happen now. One of them is also a former druid, and as she starts to move, anytime she moves, she changes into an undead bear.
It's going around.
Yeah. Well, because I need to have, I need to fulfill this wish.
Ah.
So
Yeah, so I look back at the gnome on my shoulder like, shouldn't have said the wish out loud.
You didn't say anything about saying it out loud.
I figured that was a given. That's how wishes operate.
I guess we roll initiative.
Oh,
All right.
boy. How many undead are there?
Oh yeah, I was supposed to work out how many undead there were. A bunch.
Oh, okay. Nice. A bunch, yeah.
Dame Steffi, what's your initiative?
4.
4.
Very startled.
Bonk Twee, I'm going to put you and Cheese Whiskers as one unit for initiative purposes. Is that cool?
Yes, that sounds fine. Cheese Whiskers is like a rat, so, not exactly. But Cheese Whiskers is mostly going to be here for moral support, I
Okay.
think, and accidentally peeing on Gorm.
Cool. And what's your initiative?
Our group initiative is 13.
How about Camriel?
Camriel's initiative is coming in at a 6.
6. Still the second fastest. Gorm?
8.
8.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's because I'm so keenly aware that I'm about to be eaten by a bear. Sharpen my senses.
You have the high ground.
Yeah. Undead!
Huh?
Yes. We all know we're looking for undead.
All right, so Nimble Sweep. There is an unspecified number of small undead hanging out on this side of the water. And you get to go first.
Oh, I'm going to try to cast a spell.
Oh, go ahead.
All right. So the first spell I draw is Faraday's Fireball. All right. So Faraday's Fireball is it deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker, and then I roll a d20. And then if I roll between 1 and 9, Faraday's Fireball deals 2 damage to each player, and if I roll between 10 and 20, it deals 2 damage to each opponent.
Sweet. Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna aim 5 damage at that salivating bear that's eyeing me up.
Got it.
And then I'm gonna roll a d20 and see what happens.
Yes.
All right, 18. So everybody else gets a Zot too,
All right.
except our team. These idiots! We're safe!
Dale, Gorm has a crippling fear of fire.
Great.
So go ahead and tap your D20.
Okay. 19.
You rolled it. I wanted you to tap it.
Oh. 19.
I don't want to know the number. It's just unavailable until you untap it.
Oh.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Okay. That's going to prove to be complicated.
Except you're actually next. So we start with untap,
Okay.
and then what do you do?
Simic Charm. Simic Charm says choose one, target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn, or permanents you control gain hexproof until end of turn, or return target creature to its owner's hand.
Until end of turn
Yeah.
is probably like the round.
I will announce end of round.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not, that's my proposition. You're in charge.
It's like, what happens if I return one of the undead back to its owner's hand?
Well, it's got 2 hands. We know that.
Just that semi-demi-hemi lich is standing out there, I don't know, doing whatever liches do because they've got hands, macrame probably, and suddenly this gnome just flies into its hand.
I like that idea. I kind of want to try to do that.
Well, I think that works.
Nice.
Are you doing this to the extremely badly burned bear or
No.
one of the others?
No, I do it to one of the others.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm panicking, remember? I'm taking the first target that I'm not really thinking about, the possible bear that's going to eat the gnome. I'm just thinking about getting rid of anything.
So Camriel,
Well, my first instinct would be to try to channel divinity to turn undead, which will probably do Lapse of Certainty. Counter target spell. If that spell is countered this way, put it on top of its owner's library instead of into that player's graveyard.
okay, so what does that do in this context?
Well, it's a counter spell. Maybe it reverts the druid to its natural form?
Or for stuff like counter magic, what if you just hold it? Like hold your action
Yeah.
and then use that as a reaction if they try to do something.
Yes, and it could also work as a dispel, which theoretically would stop the animation.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to suggest.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
All right, so is this on the bear that's about to eat Kathleen?
Yes. Yes, I feel it would be.
Okay, all right.
I like the idea of this
So-
bear being like, I feel less confident than I did before. What
Yeah,
happened?
is this really what I want to do? Also, I is not a concept that has occurred to me as an undead.
Yeah.
But now it's here.
So does this lapse of certainty mean that this tiny, sometimes bear, is just kind of shaking her head and wandering off into the weeds?
I like that. I like
I
that.
like the idea of the bear being like, and then just walks away.
What am I doing with my life?
All right, so that was the toughest of the undead, and all the others have been burned by the fire.
Ah.
So they're still gonna come at you. And when I attack you, I use dice.
Oh.
Oh,
What?
how novel.
So I'm just gonna attack each of you once with my big bitey biteness. Hey, Dame Steffi.
Yeah.
How's a 21? Does a 21 hit you?
Sure does.
Okie dokie. What does 4 damage do to your hit points?
Reduces it by 4?
What does that leave you at?
Oh, 27.
All right. Hey, Bonk Twee Nimble Sweet.
Yes?
Does a 5 hit either you or Cheese Whiskers?
Well, my armor class is 10, so
Okay.
it doesn't. But Cheese Whiskers is a rat. So I feel like Cheese Whiskers might get a hit.
So 5 is pretty pathetic. What if the bite came in and sort of engulfed Cheese Whiskers, but now Cheese Whiskers is running around inside this skeleton?
Yeah, that sounds good. And it's like it's a full skeleton, so you can just see it like popping through the eye sockets and running around.
It
Perfect.
sounds like a badly tuned xylophone.
It just
Yes.
sounds like the GameCube startup.
Wild magic. It could do that. Hey, Camriel has a 14.
Bounces off my scale.
Cool. And Gorm, I got an 18 on you.
Oh yeah, that's a hit, baby.
That's a hit?
Yeah.
All right. So when I hit you,
Yeah.
you're not a bear, right?
Yes, because it's not my turn.
Right. Okay.
I am a human.
So I'm doing 3 points of damage to your human D&D self.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Dame Steffi, what you doing?
I can't wait to find out. If I want to hold this as a reaction, should I tell you about it then?
What's funnier? Oh, professional comedian.
I think this works better as a surprise if I hold it.
So I need to make sure I do a bunch of stuff so you have an opportunity to react.
yeah, I hope.
So now it's the end of the round, which is the end of the turn for whatever end of turn until end of turn things we're doing.
All right, cool.
Which brings us back to Bonk Twee Nimble Sweep, accompanied by Cheese Whiskers.
Well, Cheese Whiskers is currently trapped inside a skull, and I'd like to think there's 2 little paws, in each eye socket, and his little face is coming out the nose hole. I was like, Daddy, rescue me!
Papa, please.
So I don't want to blast I don't want to blast Cheese Whiskers. So I'm gonna take my staff, and I'm going to try to just smack this thing's skull.
Cool. How's that work out for you?
I don't know.
No, you got to draw a card.
I gotta draw a card.
It's wild magic. You've told us what you intend to do,
Oh no.
and now the wild magic is interfering.
Oh no. All right. Well, I'm going to, in fact, instead cast Cone of Flame. And I can deal 1 damage to a target creature or player, 2 damage to another target creature or player, and 3 damage to a third target creature or player. So I'm going to deal 1 damage aimed at the groin area of the skeleton that is currently imprisoning Cheese Whiskers.
Okay.
2 damage at something else and 3 damage at something else.
Okay, well, there are a couple of these skeletons that were down sort of in the mud by the water, and maybe they're sort of coming up after you hit them with the fireball. They're like, oh, we need to get out of the mud, and that's what they did instead of attacking.
Right.
But they're sort of all clambering toward you now because the bear was targeting you, so you're obviously the main target here.
I will hit whatever is available, but I'm going to try really hard not to burn Cheese Whiskers.
You're still doing this all on my back too, aren't you?
Oh yeah. The smell is really testing my concentration.
If there's moments where you aren't a bear, is he just riding on your shoulders?
Yes, like a
Nice.
piggyback, like I'm piggybacking you.
Yeah, and every time it's Gorm's turn, suddenly I'm sitting there like this, and so he's like, ah!
Yeah, you're not from Chult, but you perhaps have seen people do this.
Playing master to his blaster.
Yeah.
And on that note, Gorm, you're bearing up.
Oh, nice. Ooh. Oh, great.
Save Cheese Whiskers.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'll try to grapple with the zombie that has cheese whiskers because I want to try to pry the rat out.
Cool.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Epic confrontation. Nice. Okay.
Well, if it's
So
epic, you'd better tell us a story.
basically what happens is like the camera pan, like it shows Gorm like charging. He's got like this gnome on his back. He's like, and then it shows the zombie like, and then all of a sudden it pans out and Gorm's not there. And then Gorm just like pops up behind the zombie. And he's like, Omewamu, Shinderu. And then he just uppercuts the zombie and it explodes. I don't know. I guess I'm going to try to uppercut it.
Well, it's epic. You're telling
nice.
me.
I get to say exactly
Yeah.
what happens. Okay, I uppercut it and it explodes and it's like bones everywhere. But then the little rat's like flipping like in the air. It's like, man. And I just hold up my hand while I'm like not even looking at it and go, and it just lands right in my hand. I just like put it back or like, hold it back towards
Bonk Tweet.
bonk tweet. There we go. Yeah.
Lovely. Have some inspiration.
All right.
Camriel, and then the undead, and then Dame Steffi.
Turning undead, produce some interesting results. So I'm going to try casting another spell. Let's try casting Shield of Faith on myself,
Okay.
which turns into Divine Smite.
On yourself? Oh no.
Well, maybe the shield appears but starts bonking people instead of being protective.
Oh, yeah, that would be way better than what I thought was going to happen.
I mean, I will say yes to anything.
Yeah. Because the card is target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls phases out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For how long? Forever? You're just gone?
How well do you remember phasing, Dale?
Wasn't that you turn it upside down and then you flip it back up or something like that?
Basically, yeah.
I kind of like the idea where I'm like, oh, better bring up like additional layers of protection. This is nice.
And you just phase out.
Yep.
Actually, that's pretty great. You just give us the feast and you just dissolve. Like, you're like, he's like, wow, he's gone.
I thought this battle was going better than that.
Okay, so you have phased out. I will not be. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
gone for a turn.
Cool.
That's actually sick.
It's the undead and then Dame Steffi. So most of the undead, I think, are coming after Bonktwee, but there's a human between these small undead and Bonktwee. So we'll have one come after Dame Steffi, because
right.
there's one already on you.
Sounds good.
Well, I rolled a 3, so I don't think we need to do anything.
Fair enough.
And then there was one coming for Camriel, who is just confused. And
In good company.
yes. So is kind of trying to like eat the space. Like the brains are not all they should be or have been. So there is some gnawing empty space and frustration. But then there is sort of a group of them going to be attacking the Gorm Nimble Sweep combo.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to roll a series of dice.
Okay.
How are you envisioning this happening?
How many are attacking us?
4.
4?
So D&D rounds are simultaneous.
Yes.
But magic rounds are not.
Magic rounds are not, yeah. They just form an orderly queue and they just like, ow. The first one goes away and the next one steps up. Like,
May I react to Gorm being set upon, Gorm and Bonktwee being set upon by what was 4
Yes.
undead? Okay, great. I will cast Righteousness,
Okay.
which in magic terms is target blocking creature gets +7/+7 until end of turn.
Oh,
so you just make me huge. I just turn into like a giant bear, yeah. Not even, I'm just a big human. No,
big
I'm not a bear,
human.
yeah, I'm a big human.
a big righteous human.
Yes.
That oh my wa Shinderu has actually come true, right?
Well, I mean, they literally, they're already dead.
Yeah.
They're fighting the undead. It's not even like a bon mot.
I feel like +7/+7. By the time Camriel phases back in, the combat's over.
I'm picturing just like a 30-foot tall, stinky, skinny human.
With a gnome hanging off your ear.
Yeah, because your legs are not wrapping around that neck anymore.
No, no.
Or if they were.
Yeah. So I basically just get really big and I just like,
Drive them into the ground like a tent peg.
you can just flick them away, right? Like,
Then there's some water you need to cross.
Quick, let's go across while you're huge.
I think Gorm, they wouldn't be smart enough to act that fast. So they would just be more impressed about how big they were. They're just like, wow, I'm so big? Where's Camriel? They need to see how big I am. Like, so he just shrinks back down and he's like, oh, I guess I could have stepped over the river.
And then she phases back.
Yes.
And so there is a settlement deep in the wild magic zone, vaguely in the direction that you're heading.
Mm-hmm.
So, Gorm, you're the guide.
Yes.
Do you think that you want to take them toward the settlement, or do you want to avoid those weirdos?
I think Gorm would want to try to avoid it.
Okay.
Camera, did you see how big I was?
No, I missed it entirely. What happened?
Dinger.
I just noticed that Camriel has an int of 8.
Nice.
I just looked at the standard 5th edition array and then was like, what's the important stat order for clerics? Great, and just filled it in.
No, this is fine. It's very liberating, actually.
Okay, so you obviously make it to the other side of the river.
Yes. Without issue?
I have no issues to throw at you. I think that, Gorm is better for the bath.
Maybe. I don't know. It's a personal thing.
For us, Gorm is better having had a
you.
bath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, wet bear probably smells no better than just garbage bear.
So while you're crossing the river and being the helper, you're in bear form and get completely soaked.
Okay.
So when you turn back into a human on the other side, is this human dry?
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I like that. That's weird enough. So every time I turn into a bear now, I just stink because I'm wet. I'm just a big wet bear now.
That's weird as heck.
But the human part of me is dry. Because the bear goes on the inside, right? Whenever I'm not a... Whenever
You're already
I'm a
wet on
human,
the inside.
The bear is on the inside. And so when the bear comes out, everything that the bear had experienced
Is that
before.
why you smell so bad? Is that all the inside smells are coming outside?
You know what?
you
Gorm
smell
never
bad.
thought about that before.
Inside you, there is one bear.
It's wet.
It's wet.
It's wet.
What do you mean I smell bad?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a raincoat.
Having crossed the river successfully, Bonk Twee is going to dismount Gorm.
Okay.
Not because I feel like the whole Gorm becoming huge and Bonk Twee barely being able to hold on was quite a lot, and don't need to ride this inside-outside bear.
Yeah, because just going around getting on people's shoulders just because you're small is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gorm will be like, I don't really know where to go next. And there is a settlement nearby and they might know something. But that's like kind of the limit of my suggestions right now.
And Camriel is tracking.
Yes.
So, are you specifically tracking the Hemi-Demi-Semi-Lich, or are you tracking the rock? I guess you're tracking the undead.
I think tracking the cold stone might actually be a better idea.
All right, and what's the magic that you're using to do this?
Locate object.
Okay.
Yeah.
The thing that used to be a dwarf settlement before it got consumed by wild magic is in that vague direction. Also, you can see that the undead ogres were certainly moving in that direction.
If that's where locate object is telling me the cold stone is, then let's go.
Before you get to the settlement, it looks like there was some sort of fight. You see a bunch of formerly undead creatures, now piles of bones. And then the trail looks like it's circling the settlement.
Oh.
So the question is, are you going into this settlement or are you following the critters?
What do we know about these people who live in a wild magic zone?
Gorm doesn't like visiting them, he said.
Yeah. But I think that's just because I just don't like people.
I was going to say, I don't know if we want to be, what's Gorm's judgment of character, right?
Yeah, you can't really trust me.
I would like to investigate to see who there's a settlement here and it clearly looks like these undead beasties are going out of their way to avoid it. And it looks like any ones that got too close have been turned into a pile of rubble. So whoever is in this settlement might know a thing or two about the Semi-Demi-Hemi-Lich and how to defeat them. So using that flawless logic, Bonk Twee is going to go into the settlement, find a door, and knock on it.
Gorm's literally going to follow anybody that seems confident in the thing they do, and Bonk Twee just starts walking to, I don't know.
Yeah, he knows what's going on. There's sort of a central, it used to be an important dwarf palace. There's also a pub.
I'm going to go to the pub.
All right. So you walk in there, and there are these weird, wild magic affected dwarfs. Some of them are at tables kind of looking at the one non-dwarf who's already in there and kind of looking at you and just sort of going back to concentrating on their beverages. The barkeep says just a moment to the elderly elf woman who has been talking off his ear and says, newcomer, come on in.
What's up, my friend?
Well, I have beverages. They are wet. Would you like some?
Absolutely. I will take 4 wet beverages, please.
That's like so high on my list of things I want out of my beverages. Top 3, definitely.
Gorm comes up, it's like, did somebody say wet? And he's just...
And while he says that, he is.
Yeah, well, I say that, but then he shrinks back to...
Does that mean that every time Gorm grabs the drink and drinks, he's in bear form,
Yes.
and your poor human form never gets to taste the beer?
Yeah. It's a curse.
Wow.
That
A
sucks.
miserable existence. Despite outward appearances, Gorm is miserable.
Don't worry, based on outward appearances, I never assumed Gorm was happy.
So while he's sitting there idle,
Yeah.
he's in human form.
Yes.
So if someone had some sort of like hose and sprayed beer in his direction,
Yeah.
the human form would get to drink it.
Yes.
Wow.
But it has to be done by surprise, because then Gorm is aware it's coming, that means it's his turn. So then he turns into a bear.
So you get 4 wet beverages.
Delicious. Question
Thank
mark.
Yes, delicious?
And I'm going to ask the bartender. I'm going to be like, "Oh, barkeep, we are chasing the Hemi-Demi-Semi-Lich. He's stolen the cold stone from the dwarves who live outside the wild magic zone. And I noticed his forces have gone around your settlement."
When you say this, the elderly elf woman says, "What? He was supposed to bring it to me here."
You've been double-crossed, I suppose, then.
I just cannot get any good help.
Wait.
Wait a minute, yeah.
She gets up and she slaps a couple of coins on the bar and starts to storm out.
Should we follow her?
We should follow.
Yeah.
We should follow that, right?
Yeah.
We
go.
had like the idea of us watching her leave, and we're like quiet for a second. We're like, we should probably.
Well, you have your wet beverages.
Quaff.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. Leave some coins on the counter. Say, "Thank you, these were exceptionally wet."
Yeah.
They were fluid.
Exceptionally wet. It was very good.
God, the next time I go to a bar for the first time in like a year and a half, I'm gonna take a sip of the beer and be like, very wet. And the bartender's gonna think I've gone mad.
Damp.
Yeah.
Give me some moist in a mug.
Let's follow her.
Yeah.
She starts climbing up on a ruined building, and she's looking around back toward Amberg, and she sees you, and she's like, "You there? You say that they've gone around?"
Yeah. The Semi-Demi-Hemi-Lich's forces stole the Amberg Coldstone, and they went around this village, and they went that way. And we were wondering why they went around the village. But now I know. It's because they're avoiding you, ma'am.
I sent a powerful skeleton that was supposed to keep him under control, and that clearly didn't work out. Being a necromancer is harder than people have made it sound like.
Wait, how long have you been a necromancer for?
I mean, I've been a wizard for about 100 years.
But just recently?
But just recently, I'm trying to, show that necromancy is something I can do. But,
Somebody said you couldn't do it, huh?
well, it's... Who are you?
We're these idiots. And I am Gorm.
I need someone to give me some sort of dice roll that gives me a justification to give you her elaborate backstory.
I have a +2 in persuasion.
I have intimidation, but persuasion sounds better.
It does.
I don't think we're going to intimidate a 100-year-old wizard.
Yeah.
Oh, she's much older than 100.
Yeah.
She just started wizarding 100 years ago.
Oh, okay. I've been in the wizard business for 100 years. You think that scares me? No, ma'am. I don't think it does. I guess I'll try to persuade her.
Cool.
A bear is pretty persuasive.
Look, I know all about weird. 15?
Sure. we can say the 15's enough.
All right. Gorm be like, look, we're all friends here. It's just like this big wet bear.
Look, we're all bears here. Do you think that we're all?
Bear with us now.
Now let me bear witness to her backstory.
Yeah.
There was this guy. Now, my husband and I have an agreement that you extremely short-lived people don't count as cheating. But even though I clearly had my eye on this fellow, and have for some time, this man-stealing elf married him. And I need to show him, being a wizard is not all I can do. I can necromance. So I quit my job at the school, and I came out here to try to necromance to get him back.
So you're just trying to get necromantic.
Yes, I like that.
It's tough.
Well, it was supposed to be easy. I was just going to retrieve the ancient relic for this city that was stolen centuries ago. And I thought, there, see, I'll use my undead to right a wrong, and then he'll dump her and, come back to me.
Well, I mean, you say come back, but you never had him in the first place.
Well, we flirted. He lived off on some distant island, but that's okay because I can, visit.
So the cold stone
Yeah.
that they've been using to keep their beers cold is actually a relic that belongs to this village.
Until about 700 years ago, they would steal it from each other regularly.
Oh, like a football game or something,
Sure. Before that, it was from someplace far off, and they stole it from them originally. So your whole initial thing, look at me, it's my school teacherness coming out again. Sure, we'll go with yes. It was a yes or no question, whatever. So you're going to help me get it back so I can leave it here and go get Avu Nihar back, right?
Yes.
Great.
Absolutely. Who are we to stand in the way of true love, huh?
Exactly.
This is like deep loading ready run continuity. Avu Nihar married Mora's mom.
Yes, who doesn't have a name, unfortunately.
Right. And this is
Some lady.
Some lady.
okay.
You
who-
haven't asked her name yet.
Right, but she was interested in Avu Nihar.
Yes.
And then he
And then he went off and married some other lady.
okay. Yep, okay. Cool.
Yeah. I haven't given Mora's mom a name or a backstory or a face because I figure she just works way better as this terrifying force of nature that is never seen.
Yeah.
I'll leave that to, yeah.
What's your name?
Guinevere. Guiltleaf Thurplestein.
Oh, no.
And you?
Oh, Dame Steffi.
Oh, Camriel.
I'm Bonk Twee Nimble Sweep, he said after no one asked him.
I'm Gorm.
Yes, you are.
All right. Well, I guess I'm going to take these idiots and go get my rock.
Sounds good, Guinevere. Lead the way.
Professor Guiltleaf Thurplestein, please.
Oh, yes. Yeah, prof.
Gapple Thurple. Guinevere.
The five of you are heading out after the ogres and the Hemi-Demi-Semi-Lich. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
For true love.
For true love.
Yeah.
Yes. And cold beer.
May the love be as wet as our beer.
And as cold.
Then it's cool.
Okay. Well, I think you're going to find them.
Okay.
Because you've got all this magic on your side.
We're also geniuses.
So let's do some initiative, and you can do the big fight to get the rock back.
Awesome.
Excellent.
All right.
Let's take some initiative. Dame Steffi.
7, which is an improvement.
Tis. Camriel.
11.
Gorm.
20.
Nice.
Ooh.
And Bonk Twee Nimble Sweep.
18.
You see these 7 giant skeletons being led by the Hemi-Demi-Semi-Lich. The smallest of the giants is carrying the rock.
It's It's our frosty cold stone.
Professor Giltleaf Thurplestein it's called the Alucaz.
Oh.
Alucaz?
The Alucaz. It does much, much more, apparently, than just keep things cold. Although it hasn't worked properly in a while. So,
I know that feeling, brother.
Gorm, you're first, by the way.
Okay, so what do I see? I see the
7 giants and a hemi
7 giants?
7 giants and a hemi demi semi lich.
I guess I better get in there. I don't know why I started talking differently all of a sudden. I guess I better get in there. Yeah, all right. Okay, so Gorm's gonna charge in, I guess, and I guess I have to flip a card because, like, I don't really attack. Like, I guess I could attack.
Well, you tell me what you intend to do,
Yeah.
and then we flip a card and see what happens.
Yeah. Okay, so Gorm's gonna try to charge in and, like, knock them over like a bowling. Like, I'm just coming in like a bowling. I'm coming in like a bowling ball. Gorm charges it because he sees 7 of them, right? And Gorm casts Primal Command. I more picked Primal Command for the name rather than what it does on the card. So I'm going to ignore what it does on the card. Basically, Gorm yells when he's charging, and he tries to summon every available woodland creature in a 10-mile radius.
10 miles?
Yeah. I'm just going to say a number. I'm going to aim big, and if you say 10 miles is too big, cool. But every animal, everything, anything that will come to the call to Gondor's aid, he just starts yelling. He's like, woodland creatures.
Now, these are the mutated wild magic zone
Yes.
woodland creatures.
Yeah.
Now,
Gorm doesn't think about that. He's just like, I'll just get all the creatures.
the great thing about getting all the creatures when you're not in a wild magic zone is that as a druid, you can communicate with them and you can tell them what they should be doing and what you'd like, and they like you because they're the natural creatures, and that's your thing as a druid. And so what you're saying is that you are summoning every woodland creature
Yeah.
within 10 miles inside a wild magic zone.
Yes.
Well, I'm saying yes to that.
Yeah. Gorm didn't think about that.
Oh
so.
no.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they have summoning sickness. We'll worry about them later.
Okay.
Bonk, twee,
Well,
nimble,
to be
sweep.
fair, I said that I summoned every creature. That doesn't mean they have to do anything.
Also, some of them are going to take a while to get there.
Some of them are real slow. And some of them are just small bugs.
Are bugs a woodland creature?
I would say so. They live in the
Yeah.
woods.
That's a terrifying prospect. All right.
Now I'm thinking fondly of those crepuscular subdermal shrieking gnats that Kathleen made up.
I was thinking of roly-polies, reporting for duty.
We can have both. Bonk, twee, nimble, sweep. There are a lot of mutant creatures on the way, but in the meantime, there are 7 giants and a hemi-demi-semi-lich.
Two things happen. First of all, I would say Cheese Whiskers as a rat, also I would say is a woodland creature, but not a mutated one. So Cheese Whiskers is going to go to your side and obey your commands.
Okay. I like the idea of this primal command. I'm like, woodland creatures to me, and then just a rat shows up. That's the only one. You're it. That's it. That's
Reporting
all.
for duty, sir.
It's like, that's all I got. There's nobody else. Well, oh well.
One normal rat. So Cheese Whiskers is going to go off and do his own thing. And I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to try and zap a skeleton, right?
Cool. How does that go for you?
Ooh, I'm going to cast Frost Breath, and I'm going to tap up to 2 target creatures, and they don't untap during their controller's next untap step. So I'm going to say the 2 skeletons closest to us miss their next turn.
Yes.
You like freeze them? They're like,
Yeah.
So the hemi-demi-semi-lich is going to use a spell. This one is called Oubliette.
no! That's the worst!
Oh, good.
Oh, no.
I forgot about Oubliette.
That's where you put people to forget about them.
Yup.
Yeah. And is using that on Professor Giltleaf Thurplestein.
I have a question. This is just because I'm interested. The hemi-demi-semi-lich, are its head and shoulders floating at what would be the height if the rest of its skeleton was there?
I would say by default, normally, yes, but it's hanging out with all these giants. So because it can fly,
It's a little higher up right now.
yeah, it's going to be at eye level because they're talking. You know, you don't. If you're the leader, you don't want to be always looking up. You're probably like 2 feet higher than these giants.
All right, I was just curious.
He's just 100 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's not useful either.
Yeah.
The Hemi-Demi-Semi-Lich was like 5'8" in
Yeah,
life,
yeah,
but
yeah.
now like kind of floats around 6'3".
6'3", yeah. It's just like, I just wish I was like, you know,
Yeah, just
half a foot. That's all I'm asking for.
What are you talking about? This is what I was.
Yeah, this is the height I've always been. Yeah. What do you mean? This is the height I've always been, 6'3".
You can check my Tinder profile.
Yeah. It's finally getting hits.
Camriel and then Dame Steffi, because I've removed Professor Giltleaf Thurplestein from initiative.
All right, I will try to smite an undead
Okay.
using what turns out to be revitalize. Oh, that's refreshing. I guess I create a wet one. Oh, it also draws a card.
All right, so what does Revitalize do?
Revitalize gains 3 life and draws a card.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Are
this is
you-
nice. This is pleasant.
Like, are you even hurt?
No, but it does show this this man, you know, sheltering behind a stone wall, and he's drinking a damp one, and he looks very happy.
Nice.
So I guess I just crack open a cold one.
Sweet.
I also draw a card, which I will hold on to, because so I'll have options, I guess.
As you wish. If you want to just do it right now, you can.
Swords to Plowshares, a large ogre, please.
You just turn the ogre into a farmer.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't eradicate it. You just like,
Well, this is an idea I've had in my head for a while. You know, like Grizzlebrand is just out there working in the field, being like, "Oh, I guess this is my life now."
he's like
you know?
Thanos at the end.
Yeah, yeah. And then Kozilek appears.
Yeah.
Wearing a big straw hat.
They're up in a farm. Like, boop. They're like, oh, they got you too.
Yeah, it's like, and yeah, they're just like after a little while, it cuts back to them, and they're like, "This is nice. Yeah, this is actually kind of nice."
All right, so one of those ogres is just going to wander off and start farming.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Down to 6. Only 4 of which act this turn. Dame Steffi and then the undead.
I'm gonna try and attack one of those ogres.
All right.
Hota! But instead, I'm gonna prepare myself by equipping the Paladin's Shield. It's an equipment. When it enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature I control, which in this case is myself. I'm in control of me. And the equipped creature gets +0/+2.
Sweet.
So,
So anytime I'm doing stuff to you, remind me that you have the shield and we'll figure out what it's doing.
sounds great. I spend my turn equipping a shield.
All right. So I have 4 ogres who can act this turn.
Nice.
Hey, what's your armor class, Dame Steffi?
On the paper, it's 11, but that's because I'm not wearing armor because I didn't put any armor on the sheet. But in the art, she's wearing what looks like plate. So we'll say 18.
18 it is. And I hit an 18,
All right.
but you have this magic shield.
Yes.
So you can put that in the graveyard to negate this hit if you like.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do that. Ching.
All right.
I don't need this shield anyway.
Put the shield up. Shield boom, gone. That's okay.
We'll call this one even.
Yeah.
All right. Rolling a 3 on Bonk Twee. Rolling a 21 on Camriel.
Oh, that will get past my 17.
Okay. Please have 14 points of damage.
I barf up some teeth.
Jeez, wow, you got smacked.
My damp one.
Drew that at the wrong time. That's a very Magic the Gathering experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
The idea of you like hiding behind this wall and you've got like finally.
Hey, Gorm, how's a 13?
I have a 12 armor class.
Okay. Well, you get 10 points of damage.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that's all I'm doing to you because 2 of the ogres are not acting.
Mm-hmm.
and it's the end of the round.
One of them took the life of agriculture.
Yes. I guess 3 of them are not acting, but that one is removed from combat.
Yeah.
Gorm, you're up.
So
You've got woodland creatures coming.
can I sense them coming?
Oh, yeah.
I think we all can.
Do I know it's a lot?
Yes.
Yeah. Gorm doesn't say anything. He's like, wow, it didn't work. Weird.
You got a rat?
Yeah. Oh, wow, you're the only one, huh? Yeah.
Do I see ripples forming in my wet one?
Yeah. Gorm's just gonna try to take up as much space as possible and try to fight and like try to protect his teammates, kind of.
Cool. How's that go? Looks like it's going well. Tell us about it.
How do we feel about long rest? Because Gorm, I just basically hibernate. Gorm falls asleep. I'm a bear.
What's long rest say?
Long rest. It's a new card. It's green X. I can return X target cards with different mana values from your graveyard to your hand. If 8 or more cards were returned this way, your life total becomes equal to your starting life total. Exile long rest. In flavor terms, I'm going to argue that Gorm starts hibernating.
What if the bear starts hibernating and now you're acting as a human?
The bear goes back inside. I'm just Gorm the human. I'm just Gorm the half elf, and I'm like,
And you've never fought.
Yeah, Gorm's never fought. He's just stinky. That's his one characteristic. He's like,
This is great.
yeah, the bear's asleep. Sorry, Gorm. He's like, Gorm runs. Okay. Yeah, Gorm takes off because I can't fight.
Well, there's a farmer over there who's heading off to a farm.
Oh yeah, I'll go with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've got
All right.
other spells? All right.
So, Bonk Twee Nimble Sweep.
Oh dear. All right, well, I'm going to try and zot another ogre. Maybe the one that ruined Camriel's cold one.
Okay.
And classic lightning bolt. I zot it.
Okay.
3 damage to one target, that one target being an ogre.
I'm going to argue this is a lightning bolt from the sky. It's going to do a lot more than just zot. It's like...
So, yeah, do we do 3, is it 3 damage or 3 dice of damage?
Yeah.
I like 3 dice of damage.
So do I.
All right,
So do I.
What dice, though? You get to...
Well, we're in wild magic zone. So, take 3 random dice and roll them.
okay, so give him a shake.
And then just let 3 out. Because you'll be able to tell if it's a D4.
That's true, yeah, all right, hang on, here we go. Hit. That's a, so you get to roll these, though.
Yeah.
But that's a 12.
Okay.
Good start.
Oh,
That's the 20.
Oh, nice. Let's go, Graham.
The two best possibles.
Yeah.
And a 6.
Okay.
Sweet.
That was very biological.
Yeah.
Thank
All right,
you.
Kathleen.
all right, I got a 4, a 10, and a 4.
I could have...
You know, that's not bad.
Hey,
pretty good.
18 is pretty good.
Yeah.
Rolling the 4 on the D20 is a big oof.
I got a 10 and a 4 on the other ones,
Yeah.
though, so that's worked out okay.
Nice.
All right, I'm going to deal 18 points of damage to this thing with a lightning bolt.
All right.
Pachow!
I'd like to point out that the flavor text of long rest says a job well done is a rest well earned. I worked real hard.
And you're just like, later.
Yeah. Sorry, union rules. I get a 15.
That ogre looks terrible.
Oh, good. Thank goodness.
Just awful.
Thank God.
All right. It's time for the Hemi Demi Semi Lich to act.
Oh, right.
And you'll be delighted to know that all that's happening is a demonic tutor to get the card of its choice.
Oh, perfect.
Oh.
So everything's fine.
Oh, no.
Nothing happens this turn.
Just like this apparition is like, what's up? Hey, what do you think I should do here? Oh, I got an idea for you.
We gotta break Prof. Guiltleaf Thurplestein out of her.
Out of the
oubliette.
oubliette. I don't know how we would do that. I didn't put any disenchants in my deck.
Camriel and then Dame Steffi.
I need to get this ogre off of me. It's been zotted.
Quite
Yes.
heavily.
So I'm probably like, ozone. As I try to zap it with Day of Judgment.
Ooh!
You put Day of Judgment in your deck.
Oh no!
Read the card.
Destroy all creatures, please.
I'm gonna argue I'm a human and not a creature right now.
So,
Cheese Whiskers is my champion.
I needed a mythic.
Yeah.
all right. So, destroying all creatures.
No, the woodland creatures.
I mean, all of you are creatures.
Yeah.
So, does anybody have a response to that? I don't think anybody's holding anything.
No.
Okay, so let's figure out what this does. Is there flavor text on the card?
So this is the one from the Strixhaven Mystical Archives. It says, "This must not become common knowledge. The consequences of such a spell are too great. Lock it away in the restricted archive and destroy its record in the catalog." Which makes it seem bad, I realize. That sounds strong. I could point out that the Zendikar version of the spell says, "I have seen planes leveled of all life rendered to dust."
Yeah. Not much better, Cameron.
Okay, it brought no pleasure, even to a heart as dark as mine, which is attributed to Soren Markov. Neat. But on like the biblical Day of Judgment, an archangel would simply descend and judge us.
And then everybody has to make saves.
Yes,
Yeah.
including the Hemi-Demi Semi-Lich, who is currently, I believe, speaking with a demon.
Ooh, that's not a good look.
All right, so it's the Day of Judgment. Angels all around.
And woodland creatures.
And woodland creatures who
Yes.
knew what they were getting into. They knew what they were getting into.
So you all have some very awkward talks with some angels who have a lot of questions about your life decisions. At some point, the oubliette expires, and Professor Giltleaf Thurplestein kind of looks around and is like, "Oh, this looks bad." She just quietly picks up the rock and walks off.
Basically, while we're being interrogated by the cops.
This is very Python-esque, isn't it? The police arrive and...
All right, so we've got judgments happening. You're each talking to an angel.
This is overwhelming for a paladin. This is amazing.
Yeah.
So how is that going for her?
She's a paladin, right? So she's always done what she believes to be, right by the divine powers. So I assume Steffi's pretty excited about this. And she'll be like, "Oh, let me list all the things I've done."
So you and your angel are just sipping back, having some tea.
Yeah. We're chill. I hope.
Okay.
Steffi thinks it's chill.
I feel like Steffi thinks it's chill even when the angel is trying to make it less chill. I think Steffi is so confident in her righteousness that even if this is like a neutral good angel who is like, you really should have been more compassionate, and Steffi will be like, no, the local law, and then just interrupt the angel and keep going.
Yeah, that tracks. Yeah.
All right. Who wants to go next?
Bong Tui is going to be like, "Look, I've zotted a lot of creatures, mostly in self-defense or because someone paid me money to do it. If I don't make it out of this, could you take care of Cheese Whiskers, though?" I say to my angel.
Cool. So how's things with Camriel?
Well, as a chaotic good half-elven cleric of Selune, whose domains are things like knowledge and twilight and being elusive, but generally helpful to sailors and navigators, she's kind of stonewalling the angel a little bit, being like, "I don't have to answer that question."
So the angel has a full record of your life.
Maybe. I want my lawyer. Where's Saloon? I get a phone. I get one contact other plane spell. I know my rights. I know my rights. I get an Archon of Selune here.
To advocate on your behalf?
Yeah. I don't have to talk to these Tormites. Tirites?
I mean, it was your judgment.
Yeah, no. Actually, no. These would be Selenite angels then. Well, this is awkward.
So, awkward conversation with Camriel.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel Camriel is mainly only as an adventurer murdered innocents.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or
then.
mercenaries, or people who inconvenienced her mortally.
So that goes about the way you would think it would then.
Good.
Yeah, yeah.
Good. As a character with an int of 8, I feel Camriel feels she's going to get out of this just fine.
And how's Gorm off on his way to become a farmer?
So an angel shows up when Gorm's running away.
Are you being judged for bear form's acts, or are you just being judged on
For
human
Gorm.
self?
Oh, I'm only human self right now. Does
Yeah,
the
the
angel
bear's
know
not
I'm a
there.
bear?
And every time you've acted
Yeah.
to hurt someone, it's been his bear.
So the angel like lands in front of me like with this big book. Like, I'm here to judge you for your deeds of your life. And he's like, wait a minute. Everything? Even the stuff under the bedrolls? And the angel's like, yes, everything. He's like, okay. Yeah, I guess I can't really do much about that. Judge away.
It's not evil to be gross.
Yeah. True. Yeah. That was a good point. Yeah. Just because I stink doesn't mean I'm bad.
And, anytime you would have been doing something bad, well, that was the other guy.
Yeah.
So I feel like Dame Steffi's angel is like, why can't you be more like them? And Dame Steffi's like, what do you mean? Look at all these people I smited.
yeah.
And then, were we saying a smash cut to the pub?
What happens to all the undead in the demi-lich?
Oh, they get horribly judged. They lose all their judgments.
Yeah.
I'm leaving it up to you whether you actually are affected by the creatures destroyed or whether you get out of this with a stern talking to or a pat on the head and a popsicle.
I get a popsicle?
I think you get a popsicle.
Oh, yes.
I don't think the Forgotten Realms has popsicles, so I don't think you know what this is. But,
Thanks.
it smells delicious, and it's frozen fruit juice on a stick.
Just a weird. Thank you. It's great.
So, after the judgment, these idiots are now at the pub in the dwarf settlement where Professor Giltleaf Thurplestein has taken the cold stone.
Yes, the wild magic dwarf settlement.
Yes, the wild magic dwarf settlement. And I guess we're enjoying some chilled wet. I mean, Steffi at least is a little like proud, maybe a little shaken, not like morally shaken, just like, boy, that was weird, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
for a paladin. But I think, I'm gonna say that Steffi was probably judged, on balance after everything was judged well.
I just don't think somebody who goes around zotting people for a living is going to get out of that. So I'm going to say Bonk Twee is notoriously absent, but the pure-hearted cheese whiskers now has a tiny wizard hat.
Bonktwee has some penance.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Bonk Twee.
But Cheese Whiskers is there, and he's enjoying some chilled cheese.
Ooh.
Camriel's sitting there being like, if the angels couldn't prove anything, and they couldn't,
Yeah.
I don't feel that you should be looking at me like this as my tracking bracelet clinks on my mug.
Yeah.
I'm good. I can't. I'm not allowed to.
That was wild.
So I guess these idiots just live here now in the wild magic area.
Yeah.
Because we can't go back to the other place without
No,
the
we
stone.
absolutely can't go back. No.
I mean, I'm a rat now. Like, rats don't really care about much. It's nice in here, very climate controlled.
All right, good work, everybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know what? I think that this will just lead to more business opportunities.
I agree. We can monetize this.
Yeah. Absolutely.
How's that taste?
Want to try? It's dirty. Like, it's gross. It's like, I don't know how I got it so dirty, but
Tastes like dirt and 3 different kinds of berry.
yeah.
Like, it should be delicious.
Yeah.
It's this divinely gifted.
It's not, but like, they gave it to him and he didn't eat it right away. He just like put it in his pocket and then he like pulled it back out and he like, Yeah.
I guess that's that.
Yeah. I'm happy with the work we did today.
Yeah.
I think we can all feel good about what happened. Well, except for Bonk Tweet.
And all those woodland animals.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
probably
Shame about
judged
them.
fine.
Shame about them.
Yeah.
Do you think the angels were just like, no, all these voles are evil?
There's probably one bad vole in there. The other voles are probably happy that it's gone.
Oh, they got rid of Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So that was us being very clever and combining Magic the Gathering and D&D because that's the new set. Buy it at your friendly
Oh.
local game store.
Oh, there we go. Thanks everybody for watching. Yeah, that was it. Goodbye.